The audition that failed. In 1962, the Beatles auditioned for Decca Records. They played a long set, mostly covers, a few originals, doing exactly what bands were expected to do back then. And Decca said no. The famous explanation came later. Guitar groups are on the way out. Years afterward, Paul McCartney admitted something honest. Listening back to the tape, he could understand why they failed. They weren't tight yet, the performances weren't polished, the sound was still rough, but even Paul said there were ideas there, originality, something different. John Lennon never agreed. To him, the tape sounded fine. He felt Decca completely missed the point. They weren't supposed to sound perfect, they were supposed to sound new. Why everyone was afraid of Ringo. When Ringo Starr first joined the band, the others didn't immediately relax. In fact, they were intimidated. This was the teddy boy era. Leather jackets, tough attitudes, a look that suggested trouble. And Ringo had it. George later admitted that all three of them thought the same thing. Be careful, he looks hard. But the reality? Ringo was gentle, funny, grounded. The one who stayed calm when things got tense. The guy they were nervous about became the emotional center of the band. The lost song for Ringo. Years after George Harrison passed away, his wife Olivia was sorting through personal items, notes, lyrics, unfinished ideas. Inside a piano bench, she found something unexpected, a song idea titled Hey Ringo. It wasn't a finished, released track, more like a heartfelt demo or sketch, but the message was clear. It was written for Ringo, about his importance to the band. When Ringo eventually saw it, he was genuinely shocked. He'd never known it existed, a quiet thank you, hidden for decades. Songs the BBC didn't want you to hear. Several Beatles songs ran into trouble with the BBC. I Am the Walrus, confusing and suggestive. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, suspected drug references. A Day in the Life, one line raised concerns. Come Together, even a brand mention caused issues. Some songs were restricted, some weren't played at all. The irony? These tracks became some of their most celebrated work. What worried broadcasters excited listeners. Refusing a segregated crowd. In 1964, the Beatles were booked to play in Florida, but they were told the audience would be segregated. They refused. No debate, no compromise. They simply said they wouldn't perform. Only after officials agreed to desegregate the crowd did the show go on. After that, it became a rule. If a venue was segregated, the Beatles would not play. A simple decision that carried lasting impact. The island escape that never happened. At the height of Beatlemania, the pressure became unbearable. No privacy, no quiet, no normal life, so they considered something extreme. Buying a Greek island together. They even toured islands by boat, seriously discussing the idea. But slowly, reality set in. Different goals, different futures. The island was never bought, just another dream that slipped away. Where the Beatles officially ended. Believe it or not, the Beatles officially ended at Disney World. In 1974, John Lennon signed the final legal paperwork inside a hotel room at Disney's Polynesian Village. Not a studio, not a courtroom, a vacation hotel. That signature quietly closed the chapter on the most famous band in history. Meeting Bob Dylan. When the Beatles met Bob Dylan, he assumed they already smoked Mary Jane. Why? He thought the lyric I Get High was in one of their songs. It wasn't. That night, Dylan introduced them to MJ. John later said it was surreal. Music, laughter, wine, and strange conversations. Another small moment that quietly changed their direction.